Hey, welcome everyone to our AMA session, specifically themed to Google Business Profile Audits, how to build an offer, promote it, and sell it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. This is being recorded. It will be edited and then put up for our group. Just know if you are a customer, you'll get access to this and all the resources. Many of the resources that I will be sharing today will be available to any of you who jumped on. It's my way to give back because you care and you've taken the time to make that investment. But then there will be other bonus resources that are locked to our customers, and I'll kind of mention that as we move forward. All right, cool. So if I could just get a, hey, Cliff, I can see your screen either verbally or in the chat, that would be great, just so I know that you can see me and you can hear me.
Looks good.
Cool. All right, let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be a 10 to 15 minute tactic, right? This is not going to be a 20, 30-minute webinar. So I'm going to go right to it. The reason we have a Q&A at the end of this is to ask specific questions. All right, my assumption here is everyone on this call is, either a freelancer or an agency owner, and you have some context to what Google My Business Profile is and an idea that you can offer it as a service. Okay, so who am I? Real quick, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Clifford. I am the founder of My Web Audit. I also run a 7-figure agency. I am only sharing this to let you know that anything I'm sharing here today on this call actually works and is what we are using in our agency today. All right, and so my mantra is sales don't just happen, you need to create them. So for each of you on here, my hope is that you don't just jump on and take this as, oh, great information, but you actually take action. And if you take action, my promise to you is that you are going to see results of some sort. And my hope is that equivalates to more closed deals. All right. At the end of the day, I have a training called the V4 Agency Sales Framework that this training is also based off of, which just means no matter how many leads you get or how many sales calls you have, the reality is you want to close as many of those as possible. Ultimately, have visibility into what the problem is that the business owner is looking to solve. Many of you may think that that's just web design or SEO, but really the bigger problem, maybe I need more leads, or I've lost revenue and I need to make up for it, or I'm just overwhelmed and I can't keep up with the competition. But understanding visibility then allows you to identify what the value is. That gap is usually what our audits look to solve. And then you want to give them a vision of a better tomorrow. That's really why they jumped on the call, showing them how your services can help them, and then ultimately validate any objections or challenges that they have with your offer, and then close the deal. Okay, so my frameworks here, helped me when I was starting back in 2000 to sell like a $400 website. Now it's allowed me to sell multi-6-figure deals, whether it's web design, SEO, or GBP. That's what we do in our business. It's helped me help companies that are small businesses that are like 50 to 150, 200,000 over the years, to those that are now 7- and 8-figure companies. All right. So whatever I'm sharing with you, it will be relevant and will help you in your business. Okay. So a quick overview over the next 4 weeks. This week's call is the foundation. We're going to be talking about how to build an offer specifically around Google Business Profile. The good news is take notes, but for those of you that are annual pro or agency customers, you'll have access to a completely done for you offer. For those of you that aren't, then I'll be walking through the framework to do that. And then once we talk about the offer, I will be giving you a couple of actionable strategies to get demand for that offer this week. All right, I got some done for you resources that will go to all of you. So it makes it super simple. All you have to do is take the resource, edit it to your personality and your target audience, and then allow them to opt in or start that conversation, right? Week 2 is going to be all about generating and analyzing the audits. This is for those of you that aren't completely clear about like how to run the audit, what areas of audit matter, how to look at domain authority, how to look at local citations, how to look at information like reviews and the link authority to identify what opportunities are there for your lead or prospect or lead or customer, and determine what levers to pull to be able to get the results. That's what week 2 is going to be about. And then week 3 is going to be, how do you take that audit report and not spend 15, 20, 30 minutes just overwhelming your lead or customer, right? we'll be speaking specifically about what to present in the audit, how to present the audit, ultimately to help you close the deal. And then lastly, in week 4, it'll be a live implementation Q&A. By that time, I'm hopeful that every one of you have already sent out an email, you've got someone to work with, and that you have questions about like how to try to get results. I'll be showing you our agency process, ultimately the things that we do that are most important, where we can see really results within 30 to 90 days and be able to quantify the ROI in our services. All right. And it's going to be a group style mastermind for any of you that obviously do GBP and are able to share your nuggets about how you get results faster. Like that would be a great opportunity for us to collaborate as a mastermind and to discuss that. Okay. So your biggest takeaway from this call should be to learn what I'll be sharing and then ensure that you send out an email, you send a post, or not send a post, you make a post on LinkedIn or Facebook, or you drop a call to some of your VIP clients. All right. Like that should be your actionable takeaway once we're done with this training. Okay, so we'll be going through again Cliff Notes model. For those of you that don't know how to build an offer, Alex Hormozi has a really great book called $100 Million Offers. He has some training on his website. You can find it on YouTube as well. This is the Cliff Notes version, and this is what I use. This is not his, but there is a lot of overlap. So for those of you that are looking to build an offer, please go ahead and check that out. As I mentioned again, we have a done for you offer that we spent thousands of dollars and a lot of research to do, and we'll be offering that to our annual customers as a way to say thank you and to help you get to success faster. So let's start off with the first step of an offer framework. For many of you, you're going to be like, this is simple, but I'm going to guess that over 50% of you do not have this in place at any level in any of your services, which is probably a fairly bold claim. But from the hundreds and hundreds of people that I've spoke to over the last year and the thousands over the last few years in my web audit, most people are missing this. And if you can solve this, you can get to success so much faster. So the first thing is a target audience. Everything we'll be sharing here is in context to a GBP offer. All right, so please look at it from that lens. If you are looking to offer GBP, obviously, if you don't know, you should be offering it to people that have a local business, right? GBP is not relevant or valuable for national companies, unless for some reason they have like a strong local presence as well. So make sure you understand in your own business who you can offer this to that is a local business, who has a pain point where it's painful that they're not getting leads or lacking visibility or losing to the competition. Make sure they have purchasing power. What do I mean by this? Potentially, you could work with a barber that charges $20 or $30 for a haircut, or a HVAC company where the average maybe service fee is $200 or $300, or HVAC replacement is $3,000 to $5,000 or $10,000, right? Or you could work with a remodeler versus even a plumber. So just know that you want to work with companies that have high transaction values for their customers and have the purchasing power to pay you. And then you want to make sure that you have a target audience that you can get in front of, whether you can target them through paid ads, putting something in the mail, picking up the phone and calling them, whatever that looks like. You want to be able to speak to them. For example, if you target lawyers and you want to work with large law firms, chances are you're not going to get to a decision maker, right? So know your audience. And then that's the first step. So in the offer we created, it was for local businesses that have high transaction values like home remodel companies. The next one is, before you create an offer, you actually need to know what their desired outcome is, right? So for example, a lawyer is going to have a different way to speak about who they work with, which is clients, and dentists would say patients, and they may have different desired outcomes even from the lead gen campaign. So for us, the pain points we see with GBP in analyzing the data is that there is a challenge with local visibility. They don't have a competitive advantage, or they're lacking a competitive advantage and want to gain one, right? They're losing more leads and customers to the competition, and they want more leads and customers. So that is the desired outcome that we make sure that we connect with our offer. Then it's really important to be able to articulate some of the expensive pain points or their expensive problems and heavy pain points. And for us, in our research with small businesses, the pain points, the three biggest pain points are lack of time, right? They just don't have the time to learn or to talk to people and then work with them collaboratively in a done with you model. So done for you is the best. They lack expertise. Obviously, as agency owners or freelancers, we know that things keep changing with Google. A small business owner or even larger businesses just don't have that time and that expertise, so they lack that, and so there's analysis paralysis. And then there's a fear of failing, and that's not fear of failing of let me just do something, but what if I do something and then I don't suddenly get penalized, right? People hear these horror stories of they decided to use this Fiverr task and all of a sudden their account has been suspended and it's a nightmare and they can't get it back. And now they're losing what little lead flow they were getting is now gone, right? And so we make sure our offer then addresses that. And then the last part of this is once you now know who your audience is, you're able to figure out what the outcomes are. Once you know the outcomes, you can connect the outcomes to the pain points. And once you have all of that together, you can build a solid value prop for your offer. And for us, that's ensuring that we offer tiered packages. All right. That means if you just want the audit, here's the price. If you want the audit and the optimization, here's the price. If you want to work on a 90-day, like boost your local visibility campaign, there's another price. And then if you want ongoing SEO after the 90 days, there's another price, right? We focus on measurable results for our agency. That is how many visits go from their GBP to their website, how many calls they get, right? And then we're tracking also Google conversion goals on click to calls and lead form submissions on the website. So those are some measurable results. We also ask them, hey, how much is a lead worth to you? So for example, if a kitchen remodeler says a small deal is worth 10,000, a larger deal is worth 25,000. Now we know if we get them even 3 or 5 more leads, that could be anywhere from 15 to 50,000 plus dollars in lead flow that we're generating with our services, right? And then the last part of a compelling offer is social proof. That, in simple terms, just means if John is a plumber and you're trying to reach out to him, you're able to say something like, hey, John, I have done this offer for Jane down the road or in a different city or in a different state, and here's the results that they got. Now, if you don't have that, then my recommendation is start somewhere, like contact a local company. I'll be showing you next week how to pick some companies if you just don't have anyone to work with to be able to identify some opportunities where with just a little bit of work, you can drive results, get a case study, bring them onto a paid plan, and then leverage that for future deals. All right. Again, we'll leave the questions to the end, so please make sure you're taking notes on any questions. So once you have an offer, there are other things that you need to consider. Again, for those of you that don't do this, I'm trying to put all the pieces of the puzzle together so you see the bigger picture, right? So think about it this way. When you are building this offer out, you want to be able to ensure that you're addressing different parts of the customer journey. For example, in our agency, someone may go to our website and then pick up the phone and give us a call. Another one may opt in for our audit lead magnet or get to our page that has audit landing page with an offer. And so our model, and this is the model that I share in my web audit, is to be able to take the lead or even an existing customer, present them with an audit offer and a strategy call. At that audit offer and strategy call, discuss in essence what that paid solution looks like, right? What's the investment and what the results can be based off of what they invest in it. The other thing that you really want to think about is, are you looking to build productized offerings or just a holistic service? In our agency, we have a model where someone can just request an audit. And so if they just want the audit, it's $299. We don't do very much of that because we try to keep a $5,000 annual customer value for our clients. And so we don't do one-off work because of the time it takes. But for those of you that want to just do a productized offer, a safe value amount is $299 for the audit, $199 easily. An audit plus a consult, same sort of pricing model. GBP optimization, consult, and audit for us is $499, and then it kind of goes up from there. So just know like what type of services you're offering and how they connect. For us, our reason for not doing a productized offer usually is because our goal is to sell them into a $24.99, $29.99 offer for 90 days, and then bring them on into a $800 to $2,000 local SEO package after getting those results, right? So feel free to ask me questions about like my buyer journey and my avatar and my services at the end, but I just want to give you context because some people will wonder, well, should I give it away for free or not, which is the next section, right? You have to figure out what works for you. There really isn't a science to this other than what's profitable for you. Because if you're working with small mom and pops, chances are they're not going to just pay you $199 to jump on a call, but we've had people pay us $999 for a call, the audit, and that at a strategy session, no work, right? So you have to figure out what is profitable for you. For us, again, the reason we go free up front is because we qualify the right people, and then we know that generally they're a 7 or 8 figure business, and we are looking to add tremendous value and are selling them into a higher service offering. You have to identify pricing. I just gave you some examples of it, but just figure out what works for you as you're getting started. And my biggest point is figure out a profitable model for you that helps deliver ROI for whoever you're selling the service to, right? Again, in week 2, I'll be showing you some of the data metrics we look at to be able to identify, is this even a good candidate? And if it's a good candidate, you might be able to say something like, hey, look, I'm going to do this for you for $499. With the idea that if we bump this by 10%, we know that's worth $2,000 to you, that in month 2 and month 3, we move into like whatever, an $800 plan or a $1,200 plan, whatever works for you. But it's important to be able to understand how to deliver ROI. If you have specific questions on that, again, ask me on the tail end, but our goal for measuring ROI is figuring out a baseline for the number of clicks to a website, right? If they were to pay for AdWords, what would that value be? If they were paying for a call, understanding that usually 1 out of 10 people would maybe get a call from the website. So what the lead value of a call looks like for a warm lead, and then be able to quantify that value. We have a report in my web audit under projects. I'll share some of that probably in week 4 of how we do that for our existing clients. And then the last part is don't look at this as a one-off service. All right. If any of you are like me back in like 2015, 2016, what happened was I'd get a deal, I'd close the deal, and I'd look for another lead. I'd look for another project, right? But the truth is we have been able to more than 3x our 3 times, 4 times now our agency since 2017 by increasing customer lifetime value. And the only way to do that is to be able to add more value and sell them more services, right? So for example, 3 great services that go hand in hand with GBP is ongoing local SEO, right? So get them some results, then put them into an ongoing SEO plan. Reputation management, right? This is managing the reviews and getting reviews and seeing if someone responds in a negative way, how to deal with that. And then obviously we don't do the last one, but there are other people who use ChatGPT or a content writer and generate content and obviously post it on the GBP and Facebook and LinkedIn and other profiles with images. And that's another tool. Now, the cool thing here is literally if you just get one deal and you sell, you sell the service at, I'm just going to run with the really simple numbers of like $200, like that's $2,400 in recurring revenue you could bring in from any of those 3 services at the end. And then if you get obviously, 5 of those in a year, then you're now at 5 figures for this specific service. And that's like literally just getting 1, right? And then selling that and then getting 5 more clients just like that. So my recommendation is to ensure that as you work on the offer, that you also consider where that offer falls into your agency and what other services you can connect with it and ensure whatever you do, it's profitable, right? So now we'll go to the part that everyone's just going to be like, wow, Cliff, this is what we want. We just want more people to sign up for our services. All right. So there's many different ways to do this. My goal is to give you resources and speak on this call for ways you can demand generation this week. That's it. Actually, you could get demand for your services in the next 2 to 3 hours if you actually just want to take action. All right. So the first way to do this is going to be to email your list, right? You want to email. The reason I put this at the top is because you have a list of existing customers. You have a list of people who reached out to you at some point and never converted into a customer, right? Take that list and email them. I'm going to give you the templates, right? So you don't have to worry about it. Everyone will get the templates here in a couple of minutes, and you will be able to take those, season them to taste, and it's a full sequence. So you can take that, launch it. The next one is for those of you that are in online groups, right? Communities on Facebook or LinkedIn, you can follow a process there to educate, lead with value, right? Not spam people and DM people with spam, but to specifically be able to lead with value, educate, and get people to raise their hand and say, hey, I want more. I'll give you a sample example of that post. We also have a complete playbook on how to do that. For those of you that are customers that may not know that, I'll share that here in a minute. And then the last part, this one is really the one that if you can effectively do just a couple of times a year, you'll never have to worry about leads anymore, right? And that is to be able to figure out a way to, again, lead with value and present what you know to someone else's audience, a local chamber of commerce, your BNI group. It could be on a blog, jumping on a podcast where you know that blog or podcast serves or community serves a specific audience. Do a webinar for them, right? And I just shared a blog post on our blog about how to leverage that and how it's helped us generate tens of thousands of dollars and tons of leads, right? So you can take a look at that for this call specifically, because we're working on actionable information. I just want to go through this and tell you this works, all right? So we have Peter who's done this in groups. We have Creed who sent this out to our customers. Just crazy value, led with lots of closed deals. So it works. So email templates, because of time here, we've actually gone longer than I already expected. This is what I do. I set a time and then I go over, trying to put so much in to a little bit of time, right? So email templates, all right? All you have to do is go to this URL. I should have hyperlinked it, but if you go to this URL, you will get access to the first 3 emails. I actually unlocked this yesterday for you all. We've created a complete done for you GBP offer. This is available to our annual pro and agency users. I unlocked this yesterday for everybody. All right. So whether or not you're a customer, you could use this. If you are a customer, you'll get these first 3 emails. And then if you're annual, then you can unlock the full system. But these are the 3 emails. All you have to do is adjust them and literally click send. Okay. So that's the first thing that I want you to do after this call or later today. The second one, if you want to use social media, this is a great way. If you've built a local audience or following on LinkedIn or Facebook or wherever you're at, here's a sample post. We have a complete framework, again, to execute this. If you really wanted to just build and commit to something for the next, let's just say, quarter, I have a full framework of like how to find the groups, what groups to join, how to find the groups on LinkedIn, how to build the lists, the email templates, the messages, everything is in here. Okay. So I just wanted to give you one sample post to give you a mindset shift of, instead of saying like, hey, DM me for audit, like how you could lead with value and do that. Then lastly, I want to compound the impact you get, right? So what I have here is, for many of you, you know that you probably grow your agency or your freelance business through referrals. So what I did was create this, worked with Aaron Rickson, and we've created an email sequence so that once you get one client to pay you or prospect to pay you or just work with you to do an audit and get the insights, you can then use this email template to drive further referrals specifically from that. If any of you are like me, you know that you hate asking for referrals because you feel like you're making whoever you're asking for to sell you and your services to whoever they're referring you to, right? I don't like that. Maybe you don't like it. So I created this framework for you to be able to do that right off the bat. Take it, run with it, again, adjust it. This was initially built for web design, right? Because that's our core service offering, but it's I went through it this morning. Super simple for you to change out a couple of things to have it focus on GBP. Run with that. Most of you probably know about our Facebook group. If you want to continue to have engagement and get resources and value like this, please join that group. Obviously, we have a thread there about questions. You can drop them there if your question doesn't get answered on this call, and I will answer that there. I'm taking the time to put this together because my hope is that you can get results. So dream big, right? Like have faith in the resources, in your expertise, set goals, right? Set hey, I'm going to get 3, I'm going to get 4 paid audits, or I'm going to do 3 or 4 free audits, and I'm at least going to get 1 or 2 paid optimization deals, and then take action. And the easiest way to take action is literally to invest 30 to 45 minutes on these AMA calls over the next month to do this. And just know that next month we might be doing web design and SEO, and then the one after that will be in a similar manner, something similar. So my goal is to continue to pick services we offer in our agency that we have audits and resources for, and to help get you to success as fast as possible.